crafty friends, it's Angie Caney and my channel, Tink's Treasures. So welcome back to my channel. I have a new project this week that I have been working on, and I am very excited because this is where my two worlds collide. So Graphic 45 has recently come out with a new collection, the Slice of Life. So I recently picked up the 8x8 size. So this is full of cut aparts and their designs. I haven't fully gone through all of it yet. Their borders. And then their cut aparts. I love you very much. Make something sweet. Slice of life. You're the apple of my eye. There's some berries. My main squeeze. You're the zest. And then on the back are the little postcard cut aparts, which I like these for journaling. This looks like some citrus and almost a solid red on the back. I would call this a blue gingham, but I know she was referring it to something else, maybe a capri. I don't know if that was meant to be the color or the pattern. And is it Harlequin with a green, and then this yellow check with the yellow, and it's kind of distressed. So those are the papers that go with it. And what I was thinking, because and then Anna Griffin came out with a video for her crafting class finishing school, and that was using some fresh food. So I thought, oh, how fun would that be to be able to combine the two? So I picked out the slider card die set from Anna, and what I thought I would do is I'm going to use the papers from Graphic 45, but I'm going to combine it with Anna's die set. And what I thought I would do is that I'm going to loosely remake some of the fruit that she had done, and then use the fruit as the sliding mechanism piece that's going to slide up. So I'll probably use like the stopper, maybe the butterflies, but then I'll just be using the main mechanism for this card. And when I was going through my supplies before I got the Graphic 45 paper, I was looking to see what I had on hand. And for the pineapple, so Anna used vellum making her pineapple. I don't have any vellum on hand, so I was looking to see what text weight paper I had that I could try and work with. And so this isn't exact, but this is kind of give you the vibe of what colors she was working with. And so this will be the main body of the pineapple, which I really wanted it to be this. When I first saw this gave me pineapple vibes, but I couldn't find anything that was coordinating that made a good topper for the pineapple for the leaves. So I'm going to use this for the leaves. And then just going through my stash, I don't know that I'll be using this, but I did come across these fun papers that I could always work with. And I want to say this was die cut with a view a while back, and I'm not sure about the strawberries. This just says Nursery Girl on the back, so I'm not sure what paper line this was, and I'm sure I bought it eons ago at Joann's, but these would be fun to work with also. And then this paper came out of this paper pack here. This is Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby Beach House. And then while I was going through this, so like the orange slices she makes in the video, she just uses the scoring mechanism to make like a, I'm going to say a fan fold, but that's not the right word I'm looking for, to make the slices, but I thought, oh, I still have from back in the day the pleated rosettes die that I can just run through and it's just going to score it for me. So I'll be able to get at least 2 out of here. And then while I was still perusing my stash, I came across this. Now this is not fruit, but doesn't it kind of remind you of fruit? So I kind of thought, how depends on how far I get into the process and how many cards I make. I might ink this up maybe with some orange and or green or yellow and emboss some paper and see how that turns out, because I thought that looked really nice. And that was the Flower Bubble and Mosaic Petals folder from back in the day. So I have that. And then also, while digging through my stash, I came across this. This is way older. And so Anna used a square die in her demonstration. Now I can just go use my paper trimmer. That'll be just as easy. But if you wanted to, there is a good square die in this that you could use. And then she had taken a circle die and then she cut them in half, and that's what you're going to put your little rosette on to make your orange slice. So I actually thought this would work well too. So I pulled those out, and it's been a very long time. Like, I don't even remember if I truly made all of these little pieces, but that kind of gives you the idea of what we're going to be working with. So let me put my supplies to the side and then we will make something. Okay, so to start with, we're going to need 12 3x3 squares. So if you want to have your die and cut it out with your impress, do that. Or you can just use your paper trimmer. Okay, so I have my pieces made, but at this point I'm thinking I might just show you the assembly versus each of the techniques, since that was on Anna's finishing school. But at this point I have my pieces together and I'll just show you the assembly. And because I'm using text weight paper that is single-sided, I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges. And so I went and dug out some ink pads, and this is Anna's. Okay, sorry for the noise, grandbaby in the room. I did go ahead and find a Tim Holtz distressed ink that is still working for me. So I'm going to just kind of ink up my edges just to kind of go over that white. And I don't know how long grandbaby's going to let me work. Okay, grandbaby's done, so I'm going to take a break and I will be back. Okay, I had to take a break, and now that I'm back, I've inked up my edges, and I am going to finish gluing this together. So I need a set of 3 that sit on top of each other. And then 2 sets of 2. And then I need some adhesive across the base. And then we're going to build on top of this. So we're going to layer the 3-piece and center it. And then one on each side and kind of tuck it up underneath. Okay, so that's the base of our pineapple. Okay, after getting my little pineapple piece assembled, I went ahead and made the crown. Now, Anna made all of her pieces with vellum, so they look a lot better, and it was probably easier to work with. And this is not exact, even though I watched her do it. I didn't have the diamond that she had. She had a diamond cutting blade. She had a diamond die to cut out her pieces with, so I just kind of guessed. I cut 2-inch strips and cut them into 2-inch squares, which I turned on its end to make a diamond to be able to follow the folds that she was making with her diamond. But it's not exact, but it has the gist. So before I glue on the top of my pineapple, I want to go ahead and make the card, and then I'm just going to kind of adjust to see where this is going to sit on the card. So the part that I want to make next is using this die here, and I'm going to use this cardstock to make it with, and then I'm going to use the graphic 45 paper to embellish with, because this needs a 10-inch piece and my paper is 8 by 8. And this is the slider card die set, and if this date printed is when it was made, it was 2019, and I've made this once or twice before, so I should be able to put this together. So I'm going to need my large plates. Okay, so this part is fairly straightforward. We're just going to fold it over, and then this is going to be the mechanism to pull. So next we need to fold on the score lines. And I'm going to cut out my tag. So I need to pick the paper to work with my pineapple. And these are more muted colors. Ooh, I do have some cherry die cut stickers. That will work nice for that when I get to that. You're not really going to see this, so maybe I'll just go with this green anyway. Okay, so for the next part, we need to add some adhesive here, and I'm going to start with a thin strip of tear tape, and then I'm just going to reinforce it with some glue. And then from here, we're just going to put adhesive on all three sides. And then you could add glue to this if you want, but I think this should hold well enough on its own. It's coming together. It's not pulling against anything. Okay, so there's our base. And here's where we need to embellish the card, but the pineapple is going to sit here. So let's see. Let's go with this. I think this would be good. And I'm going to cheat and just cut out the front so that I can just lay it on top of here. So I need about 5 inches. I'll go over just a hair. Okay, so hopefully that worked like I want. And it has. So I think what I'm going to do is actually trim this piece out and flip it over. And then that'll be my embellishment for the opposite side. So if my plan works, then I can just glue that on here. I'll need to go back and trim up my edges. And of course I did not line that up right, so let me go back and fix it. because now it is not going to want to cooperate being all curly. But I'll take that. That looks good. And now you'll never know. So we're still sliding. It's good. I want to put this here. So I'm going to do, actually, I got tape for my tape gun. I know y'all like your tear tape. I just hate having to deal with removing the backer. I don't know why these got a bad rap and everybody quit using it. And then in here, I want to put a sentiment of some sort out of the cut aparts. I don't know, today is a discombobulated day. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in this video because I made a different video earlier, but I had grandbaby with me and she was very fussy today. I don't feel like I accomplished much. She did not nap well. Okay, I didn't want to use this paper for the cut aparts because the cherries are in back, and that's how it always goes with me with Graphic 45, is that I love all the papers. I don't want to cut into the ones that are cut aparts because there's usually something cute on back. Some borders there. Oh, here we go. So what would go with pineapples? Main squeeze, there's a little pineapple on there. So let's cut that out. And then find something for a nice background here. That kind of gets lost in that background, but I can put a piece of ivory cardstock behind it to separate it. But otherwise it looks kind of blasé there. So let me measure. See, not a good day. I need to quit when I'm done. Okay, so 3.5 by 4.25. And we made a pineapple out of it. So I need to make sure that this flap, that this piece here is going to sit under there so it still slides. But I'm just going to glue this on. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm going to grab this green. This green will make it stand out on its own. So I'm just going to find two good corners, and lay that down. Because I do need to kind of keep that part flat. That piece needs to slide over it. Well, I'm going to put it up here so you can still kind of see the pineapple that we cut out. Let's make sure this still works. There we go. So here's where we want our pineapple to sit. So that's what I was saying. I didn't want it to be too big. I need it to be flush here for when it sits up. And then I'm just going to tuck this underneath. And so I'm going to glue this. And then we'll just slip that underneath. And enough glue that just sits on that panel. And I can go back and add a little glue right there. Okay, let me look and see if I have anything else to add to this. Okay, I was thinking I had the fern die set, but I don't. But then I remembered I did have some ferns from one of the finishing school boxes that I had. So what if we stuck a couple ferns around it? And then one or two flamingos. Okay, let's just try one. Maybe right. Okay, right off to the side. Let me figure out how to maybe put him up here a little so he's sticking out. So if I grabbed a few dimensional foam squares, I bet you he'd sit there. So let me get out my handy dandy foam squares I've been talking about in the past couple of videos, and I just made a short on making this little hack for creating your foam squares so that you're not having to peel off the backs. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, I think that'll, well, then you just put your back on and you're good to go. Okay, so I think that's gonna work really nice. Need to get these to lay down a little bit better, just for the flamingo part. And I'll add some glue in there. But then you just pull up from your spot in the back, maybe add a little ribbon there. I'll have to go look for some ribbon. Okay, I had a stuck piece. We're good now. Okay, so you just reach back there, pull it up, and there you go. So that's my main squeeze pineapple card combination from Anna Griffin and Graphic 45 with their main squeeze paper line and the slider card die set. So I appreciate you watching if you've made it this far. And if you happen to be new, and consider subscribing. My other videos are much better done. So I apologize for this video. But it has come together nicely. So I would appreciate if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up. I always like to say that it is free for you to do, but priceless to me. So until next time, happy crafting. Bye.